Marvel is getting ready to say goodbye to Phase 4, and whoa, what a ride it's been. As we move toward the end of this phase, the franchise has given us a true treat in the form of Benedict Wong, the Sorcerer Supreme. Some are even saying he's better than other characters, especially from the long-term Marvel rivals, the DC Comics, Batman to be more specific. In today's video, we're going to be proving whether this is true or not. First off, Benedict Wong is definitely supreme at what he does. Apologies for the pun, but we're absolutely right. Whether it's his judgmental looks or witty remarks, Wong stole our hearts from the very first moment he appeared on our screens. His journey from Shang-Chi to Spider-Man No Way Home was definitely a welcome addition to Phase 4, and we're really looking forward to more. You could stop strangers on the street and ask them if they like Wong, and we're sure that they'll say yes. And we haven't tried this yet, but we're daily certain that the reply will be positive. But yes, there's always a but. But is Wong as popular as Batman? Now that is a tough question. One we were pretty afraid to ask because all of us know how touchy Marvel or DC fans get when the rivalry of the two franchises is discussed, but in all honesty, it is pretty entertaining to watch. No offense to any diehard fans out there. So coming back to the subject, we were discussing a tough question. That's right. Is Wong as popular as Batman or not? Yes, we went there. Honestly, when we asked this question ourselves first, the answer pretty much seemed like a no-brainer. Who in their right mind wouldn't choose Batman? He's basically one of the most popular superheroes and loved by many different generations. We've all wanted to dress up as him on Halloween, and of course his villains are the best. Like, we can all agree that the Joker is the coolest villain ever. No matter how messed up his actions are or the weird things he gets up to, he is an icon and makes Batman several times more worth watching. But after all, a superhero's worth can't be measured by how awesome their villain is, right? So we'll have to rely on some other units of measurement, such as popularity amongst fans. And as it turns out, the popular vote is not with Batman, but with Wong. To be honest, we're not that surprised. Marvel has been doing a pretty decent job of busting out new heroes. Each is better than the previous one, but what Marvel did with Wong is pure magic. Now, if you're a diehard DC fan and are extremely biased toward one particular superhero in black, then this ought to create a lot of confusion for you. You might get slightly angry as well, but hey, don't direct it toward us. Before you go blow up the comment section saying that we don't know what we're talking about, let's get you some hard proof. One account on Twitter with the username of @DiscussingFilm made two tweets. One was about DC, and the other was of course about Marvel. The first one was posted in October of last year. It basically mentioned that Michael Keaton would be returning as Batman in The Flash. Yep, that's right, the actor is finally reprising his role after 25 years. Now that ought to gather some fanfare, as his version of Batman in the late 1980s films was a particular favorite amongst those who follow the franchise religiously, and he is returning after 2.5 decades. This tweet, however, wasn't as well received as one would expect. It gathered only 1,488 retweets with 250 quote tweets and just 8,682 likes. Now, the second tweet basically announced that Wong would be returning to our screens in She-Hulk. As you know, currently Wong is a returning character in the Marvel franchise, but that hasn't made him dull. In fact, everyone actually looks forward to his return. This can be proved, but just seeing how popular the second tweet was, it was recently posted in the last weeks of July, and in just about a day, the tweet was able to garner more than 30,000 likes. But let's see if this comparison really fair. Okay, so here's what we have to say in the favor of Batman. The news of Michael Keaton's return had been leaked earlier before the official announcement, so a lot of us were actually expecting this as it wasn't something new. But still, even then, the numbers have pretty much given us a clear answer. Now, after these tweets went viral, we were sure that there was gonna be some increased activity, which would also tell a lot about how motivated the fans of each franchise were. So we made a poor intern scroll all the way down to October 21st first, and here's what we found. The DC fans could not be bothered. Now that came out a bit harsh, but we're just letting the numbers talk. Even after these tweets and the difference between the likes went viral, the likes on the Batman post actually decreased. Yes, that's right. Currently, the likes on that post are 8,679, and we're wondering who went back to unlike the post. As for Wong, well, let's just say that he's halfway to 100,000 likes. The most adorable yet somewhat scary sorcerer alive, in Marvel of course, was able to get 51,000 likes in just 8 days. This has definitely made people feel some sympathy toward poor Batman. At this point, it just seems like people are doing this deliberately just to piss DC fans off. Excuse us while we go like the tweet hoping to help Batman win his popularity back, but at this point, the competition has gotten too big. It seems like a lost cause now. Well, this bizarre news was definitely a whirlwind. If you need some new Marvel news stats just to calm down, then here are some other items we thought were noteworthy. First up, we have a few words that are going to blow your mind: Harry Styles and Marvel contract. Give yourself a moment to calm down now. Take a breather, walk around the room and drink some water. That's everything we did when we heard this news. Reports have just been released stating that Harry Styles has just signed a 5-movie deal with Marvel Studios. This deal would earn him north of $100 million, and we're in shock. And of course, the directioner inside all of us is still fangirling over this extraordinary piece of news. But what role will he be playing? You remember Thanos? Yes, that large purple dude who made half of the world vanish? Well, Harold will be playing his brother Eros. We're not really sure how to react to this news, but this is still pretty awesome. In fact, we already saw him as Eros in Eternals for just a few seconds. He'll be further appearing in the franchise, which is already pretty star-studded, but this just gives us more reasons to watch all the new releases religiously. Moving on, the first clip of She-Hulk has been released and we're hooked. We can expect the film to be released at the end of this month, and that seems appropriate. It's the exact amount of time we need to get over how awesomely amazing this clip was. It shows a rather homey and cute side of Hulk while he trains with the new addition, who by the way ends up excelling at everything. She-Hulk, whose human name is Jen as it turns out, is Bruce's cousin, and apparently she's also an amazing lawyer. This new hero has powers that are just as good as the original 6 and much more. In this new film, we can expect Jennifer Walters to come to terms with her powers as she follows in the footsteps of her cousin. Bruce and Jen make up an amazing duo, especially with him taking her up under his wing. We're so looking forward to seeing them on the big screen and sharing some witty moments. Lastly, Disney Plus and MCU are joining hands for a crossover. Now this seems like a pretty good note to end this video on. We know that both Disney and Marvel are huge fans of crossovers, but one with characters from both franchises, now that seems like a dream come true. Disney Plus and Marvel have had crossovers on small scales before, but now they're aiming for something big. If you're looking for a specific film to look forward to, then it's Secret Invasion, which will be coming in 2023. Now, as much as we'd like to see Hannah Montana alongside Spider-Man fighting Thanos, we're probably not going to get that anytime soon. Maybe even never. But currently, we're getting a mix of the Thunderbolts, the Fantastic Fours, and the Illuminatis. Maybe if we're lucky, we'd be seeing some rather wild cameos in the film. Now, we're not exactly sure who else will be joining this venture, but there's one thing we know for sure: it's going to be epic. What do you think about this new development in the Marvel versus DC rivalry? Do you also think that Wong is better than Batman? Let us know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more awesome videos like this.